Hi everyone, today I've got the amazing artist and writer Phillipa Bowers with me. Phillipa, could you please introduce yourself and tell us how you were drawn to Avalon?
Hello, my name is Phillipa Bowers, and I first found Avalon after I met a woman at the Earl's Court Mind, Body and Spirit Festival long ago in the early 80s. And she told me about a green gathering near Glastonbury. And my husband, who was with me at the time, his ears pricked up and he thought, oh yes, he'd like to go there. So off we went to this green gathering, and I got out of the tent early one morning and I saw in the distance this shape of the tall, a dark lavender against a pale lavender sky. And I just knew I had to come. And then we found the chapel at Wookey Hole. It all happened one thing after another almost immediately. And we came here. And I believe it's the land that pulls us in. There's an awful lot of people who feel that pull. And that hook goes in and you're wound in. I even tried to leave. I tried to retire 25 years ago, and we went to Cornwall, which was wonderful, absolutely magical, Tintagel. But then when my husband died, I knew I had to come back here. And it was the right thing to do. I love it here. And we're all attracted, or the people who are attracted to it, range from completely and utterly insane, wonderfully so, many, down to the just slightly bonkers like me. At least I think I'm only slightly. And I just feel I'm doing what I was born to do. I make my sculptures which express the feminine. I believe the earth is a living being, and I express, mostly I started with, well, first of all I just started making little fat goddesses when I was at art college, and I took some clay home and I made these little fat goddesses, fat ladies at the time I called them, and this tutor saw them and said, what were you doing making those? And I said, I don't know, I just like them really. He said, oh, you need to go to the British Museum. I'll give you a letter and you can go down and see what they've got down below in the storerooms. And I was just blown away. And he'd understood that I had tapped into, I think, a memory bank, who knows. But what he said was, they're so similar to these little votive offerings that have been found all over the world from long ago. And I've mostly never actually copied the originals. I've made my own version. But they do express my feeling that, like one piece I make a lot is called the source. So she's the source of all life and all being. And from within her comes life. So there we are, that's what I do. I've also painted quite a lot, and I have written 3 books. I very much believe in the wise women who long ago would have been the only source of healing or health from herbs. There probably would have been at least one in every village, and she would also have been the midwife as well as the healer and the herbalist. And of course they would have presented a challenge, I think, to the church that was taking over. And so I think that's when the idea of the witch came in, the wicked witch. And when I was living at Wookey Hole, I used to hear the stories about the wicked witch who poisoned the crops and killed the babies and did all these terrible things. And I thought, well, there was some truth there, but not that truth, which is why I wrote my book. Can't even think what it's called for the moment. The Wise Woman's Tale. There we go. And I wrote it from the point of view of a young woman in the 20th century with flashbacks to this previous existence. Mainly, I think, because their lives would have been so very short and hard in those times. And then I wrote another book when I first came back here 10 years ago, The Dark Well, which I believe is about a well that is now in the Abbey, but would have been seen to the church as the most powerful point in the most important place on this island. And at the time I didn't realise it was even there, actually. I just sat on a bench with my little dog and the story came to me. So that's it, here I am. I often give my sculptures names of various goddesses, but I always say, you call her what you want. She can be yours. You give her your own name.
That's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. So, am I right in saying that you experience and express your spiritual path in Avalon through your work, through
exactly
what comes to you in the clay? And
yes.
How is that process for you when you're moulding? Do you
I have
feel
no
like
idea. I couldn't explain. An idea will come to me and I will make that piece. I don't think we have to understand everything. I don't think we have to know.
Yeah.
I was married to a scientist and who was the complete opposite, but I've never felt that we have to know. I just make my work, and it's the reason I'm here. It's what I was born to do.
And what does a divine feminine, like, how do you see it? What does it mean to you if we say goddess or divine feminine?
Well, just the actual earth itself.
Yeah.
I see the earth as a living being. I have seen that for many years now. And that's really why we should be taking a lot more care of the earth.
Yeah, it's very true. Thank you, Phillipa. I love listening to you talk. I could listen to you talking about your life in Avalon and your creation stories all day, but I've really, really enjoyed this.
Thank
you so much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.